2021 may not have been such a great year overall for our world climate, but hey, at least we got some pretty good anime, am I right? This video is kind of late, and I was even debating for myself if I should even make a video about my favorites from 2021, but considering that I didn't even talk about most of these shows, this just gives me a chance to gush about my favorite anime from last year. Just a small disclaimer, if you're wondering why a show isn't on here, it's probably because 1, I either didn't get a chance to watch it, like these ones here, 2, they were sequels to shows I haven't started yet, or 3, they completely derailed by the end, shat the bed and left you asking what the fuck even happened. Yes, I'm looking at you, Wonder Egg Priority. Other than that, this is just my opinion, so feel free to list yours down in the comments below. Before I get down to my top 5 favorites from last year, I have to give these two shows an honorable mention because they just barely missed the cut. Vivi Fluoride Eyes Song and Mushoku Tensei. I'm not going to go into detail as I've made dedicated videos on them on my channel, but I thought they deserve to be mentioned and anyone who wants to can still check them out. With that being said, let's move on to the best anime of 2021 you should have watched. Coming in at number 5, we have Aquatope of the White Sand. Now, I know for certain that this isn't a show many people have watched and even less have made videos on, but Aquatope was such a beautiful and wholesome show about community, connection, and shared dreams, all under a backdrop of saving an aquarium from closing down. It follows the struggles of two girls, one trying to find a new passion in life after quitting her job, and the other trying to preserve the place she calls home from closing down. This isn't a show for everyone, as if you're not a fan of slice of life or drama, a lot of the show can feel inconsequential and boring at times. But if you let yourself immerse into the setting that our characters are in, what you'll find is a refreshing and optimistic tale about building connections with others, the importance of community, and chasing dreams. The show begins with an 18-year-old girl, Fuka, who initially quits her job being an idol and escapes to Okinawa to get away from everything and clear her mind. She visits Gama Gama Aquarium where she meets Kukuru, the junior manager, and while there, finds a passion for aquatic life she didn't know she had. For me, the main draw of the series was seeing the relationship between the two girls develop over time into something meaningful. Fuka and Kukuru are two very different people, as one is a gentle city girl who isn't used to getting her hands dirty, while the other is a tomboy who gets the job done, not really caring for anything other than the aquatic sea life. The reason why she cares so much is that it's the only connection she has left with her parents as they had passed away. The aquarium was a family-run business, and if it were to close down, Kukuru would lose the last precious memories she had of her mother and father. But it's through the two girls supporting each other during harsh times and everyone working at the aquarium can Kukuru begin to learn that family is more than just blood. It's the place where you feel most at home. Aquatope isn't the most exciting or adventurous of stories, but it doesn't have to be. It's a slow burn and feel-good slice of life that's easy to relate with. Animated by PA Works, the show looks beautiful and really gives you the sense of what it's like living by the sea. I think the best way I can describe the show is that it's mixed between Tamako Market and Nagino Asukara. For those who have seen it, you'll know what I mean. Aquatope was a truly underwatched and underappreciated series from last year, and anyone who's a fan of good slice of life should check it out. At number 4, we have BStars Season 2. Now, if you've never seen this show and think it's for furries, you could not be any more wrong. BStars is a self-reflective character drama about what it means to live with yourself. The show brilliantly uses the fact that the characters are animals and incorporates it into the very nature of their existence. The series tackles many different themes such as prejudice, discrimination, and the true nature of oneself. In this world, you're either labeled a ferocious carnivore hell-bent on eating meat while having little to no self-control, or you're an innocent but weak herbivore that lacks true strength. This duality in this world is explored extremely well between the characters as they have to navigate through life with a stigma that was permanently attached to them since the day they were born. Legoshi may look like a dangerous wolf on the outside, but on the inside he's actually a harmless and deeply melancholic person. Season 1 brought to life all these existential questions while introducing the mystery of who ate Tem, the alpaca and member of the drama club our main character is in. Season 2 finally answers the mystery, which I won't spoil, but also places more emphasis on Lewis as a character and the insecurities that reside within him. Under the strong, charismatic, and confident persona Lewis has, it was all manifested from the trauma he had to go through being sold as food in his childhood. I mean, he becomes the mafia boss of a bunch of lions in the dark market when he himself is a deer, and if that doesn't get you interested, I don't know what will. I've seen BStars simplified down to as Zootopia for adults, which I don't think is necessarily wrong, but it downplays the compelling psychological character drama and creative visual direction the series has. BStars Season 2 is a great continuation towards a very unique story that I've seen in any media. The core ideas of what makes you who you are juxtaposed with your natural animalistic instinct is something I can't get enough of, and I will be eagerly waiting for Season 3. Coming in at third place, we have Attack on Titan Season 4. As I'm an anime-only viewer, I had no idea what to expect after the basement reveal in the ending of Season 3. Before that, to me, Attack on Titan's appeal was the fact that it was about the last of humanity fighting against a universal threat. Now knowing the mystery behind the basement, it recontextualizes the whole world of Attack on Titan. No longer were our characters fighting against giant monsters who wanted to eat them, but it was actually a deep-seated human conflict even bigger than themselves. Attack on Titan Season 4 changed what the entire premise of the show was initially about. No longer was it just surviving, it was about fighting for your right to freedom no matter the cost. It presents the horrors of warfare, how the cycle of hatred will continue to repeat, and how there's no more right or wrong anymore. The characters that we all know and loved are murderers who have killed innocents and committed war crimes. This is most evident with Eren's character. He was a boy who, from the bottom of his heart, hated the Titans so much that he vowed to kill every single one of them. But after learning about the history of the world and the deep-seated conflict between the Eldians and Marleyans, he's completely changed. The cost of his freedom wasn't so simple anymore, and it was in this season where Eren transformed from the hero of his story to the monster of everyone else's. I wouldn't call myself a fan of most shonen anime, as I'm not too fond of the general tropes and cliches that come with the territory, but Season 4 of Attack on Titan had me hooked from start to finish, and I personally wouldn't even consider this a shonen anymore. Isayama has created a story that I believe will be known as a modern classic once it finishes for years to come, and I for one can't wait to see how this story ends. For the silver medalist, we have Odd Taxi. It's rare to find a show that has a completed original story from start to finish, but Odd Taxi is that and so much more. The show is first and foremost a mystery about a girl who goes missing in the deep underbelly of Tokyo. The series slowly progresses by revealing what seems like a bunch of unrelated characters that slowly interweave and unravel the bigger mystery. The best aspect of the show is within its tightly written story. Everything in Odd Taxi has a purpose, and if you're paying close enough attention, you might be able to figure out the dots before they are even revealed to you. Beyond the overarching story, the show has grounded and realistic characters with their own problems and motives. No character is pigeonholed to be a solely good or bad person. They all have their personal reasons and sometimes do morally bad things because they feel trapped and there is no other way forward. Some characters fall for a dating scam because they pretended to be someone they're not. Others are obsessed with social media because they have no self-worth. And even the most innocent of characters have to steal from their job because of money problems. All these seemingly unrelated stories for each character come together to fill a bigger narrative. One character is connected to another, and by the end, all the pieces of the puzzle fit together perfectly. This is probably the best written single-cour anime that I can remember in a very long time, and I don't want to spoil it by saying any more. Oh yeah, and the fact that the characters are animals plays a small but important role, which you'll just have to see once you watch it. Coming in at number 1, the best anime of the year for me was ReZero Season 2 Part 2. It may come as no surprise to anyone, as I did make a video going into how my opinion changed because of Season 2 and why I think it's brilliant, but that only happened to me after I experienced the second half. While Subaru's backstory may have recontextualized the series and made it obvious that this was a story about how to become a better person, Subaru's confession to Emilia was the moment that made me realize that this is one of my favorite shows of all time. There are rare moments in fiction that make you realize how you're experiencing something truly special unfold before your very eyes. And to me, that moment in ReZero was exactly that. This was where the story was all building up to. ReZero is a phenomenal character study, and I didn't fully appreciate the series until I realized what the true message behind it was. Under the grand fantasy, the idealization of its female cast and dramatic action, It's a story about how anyone can learn to love themselves. Subaru is a character that seems insufferable at first. He's overly confident, arrogant, and idolizes the women that he meets. But deep down, he actually held insecurities about himself that he despised, so much so that he was happy when he transported to another world. But the series doesn't advocate for people running away from their problems. Everyone in some way has their own issues, their own problems and insecurities. However, through the help of the people closest to you, you are able to overcome obstacles that you couldn't do on your own. And in turn, once you are able to accept yourself for who you are, you can then start to become the best version of yourself. This also doesn't just apply to Subaru himself. Emilia in the second half of season 2 became a character that I loved more and more. Initially to me, she was a pretty bland character to begin with. She was a pure-hearted girl with great ambitions to change the world, but there was never that moment that made me truly think she was a great character. It's only until when she took on the second trial in the sanctuary and we learned more about her childhood and how she has pent-up trauma did I finally start to see how great a character she actually was. Emilia has flaws and insecurities just like anyone else. She blames herself for what happened during her childhood, and it's after learning these aspects of her character did I finally get emotionally invested in her character journey. So yes, ReZero Season 2 Part 2 to me was the best anime of 2021. Thanks everyone for watching this more casual video, and expect another upload real soon. Check out my other videos in the meantime, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you all next time.